What's going on, people? In the last 3 or 4 weeks of me and Red being on the podcast, there's been some pretty uncomfortable topics, and while I like Red to squirm as much as possible, I know talking about, sexually related things and masturbation and all that stuff is, not everybody's cup of tea. So if you want to skip to around 32 minutes, we'll start getting into a different dialogue. But we are doing some listener letters that bring us into conversation of a sexually related nature. So just wanted to give you a little warning. Enjoy the show. Self-serving, persuasive talkers
of everything and nothing.
We are conversation con artists. What's going on, people? It's your boy Mr. On Point,
and I am Calamity Red,
and we the conversation con artists, back for another episode.
You back?
I'm back. I don't like missing recording the podcast, but I went to LA for like 11 days. That was too long of a vacation.
It wasn't just LA though. You was in Vegas and shit.
It's too long away from home. Went to LA for 6 days, flew to Vegas for 3 days, and stayed in LA for 2 more days, and then flew back here. I've taken enough vacation for some time now. Like, I don't.
It was LA and Vegas. That sounds amazing.
It is too many people. It is too many cars. The traffic is ass.
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
But the opportunities are great. Yeah. It's a lot more food around there.
Of course.
It's a lot more entertainment. My brother lived right off of Hollywood Boulevard.
Oh, shit.
So we just walked right down to the boulevard, and they got street performers out there all day. Like folks dressed like Transformers and Spider-Man. It's just everybody.
It's funny.
Vegas is just like naked women standing around everywhere.
Yeah.
They ain't fully naked. They clearly got like a little bit of paint on. The parts that you can't have exposed, but they naked basically. And just promoters trying to promote every single club all day long.
That sounds overwhelming.
It's a lot. Casinos. I'm gonna give you some advice. This one thing I learned. I learned a lot of stuff, but this is one thing. Even if you can get in a high quality ass hotel, like we did for a discount, I wouldn't do it.
Why?
Because you in there at a discount with people who would normally pay full price for it. So you in there with a whole bunch of sedity ass people that you don't even connect with on the casino floor.
Oh yeah, of course not.
I'm sitting down at a table playing my $10 while a dude next to me is playing $150 per game.
Shit.
And I'm like, see the disconnect here. Like, I'd be fine making what he was paying per game.
Hell no, that's crazy.
So I was like, next time I'm gonna stay in a lower end hotel, because the first 2 days we stayed in a decent hotel. The third day we stayed in a regular one that's affordable generally.
Yeah,
and it was way different. It was just so many more people that look regular.
Yeah.
It was like the difference between walking through Walmart and walking through Publix in grocery store terms.
Completely
Maybe
different.
not Walmart. Walmart is bad. That'll be like standing in the fucking Motel 8 or some shit.
I don't know what the equivalent would be though. Walmart kind of is it. They would be Walmart and Publix.
But I mean, it was a fun time.
Well,
but
Cole stood in for you. We
yes,
argued
he did.
like we do.
I knew y'all was gonna argue.
That's what we do.
That's all y'all do.
Pretty much. Accurate. Actually, I'm gonna get back to Cole because we had a little beef this past week. I stand by what I said, and he stands by how he feels. So I just want to share it. Just because. And I think he's gonna probably share it on their show. So
I guess we'll put some input about that thing then.
All right. Where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Mr. MISTER_on point.
And I can be found at red_calamity. Also, we are still doing a listener letter portion of the show. So if you have a question you would like for us to answer on the show, you can send it into our Gmail account, which is conversationconartist@gmail.com. Or you can find us on Facebook, Conversation Con Artist, and send it in that way. And I think we have a couple of questions.
We do.
One of which I'm not happy about.
You aren't. You don't even know what it is.
I don't even know what it is, but I know it's bad.
All right. We got our first letter is from Colin.
Who's wrote in before.
Yeah, he wrote in before.
Long time listener.
But he's given his input about the porn.
Why is everybody so fascinated with that fucking porn show?
Because everybody is fascinated with porn, except people who aren't. And if you aren't, then I understand and I respect that. But if you are, everybody got different thoughts, different tastes.
All right. What did Colin say?
All right. I spend way too much time on the internet. I'm about to drop the knowledge that I've learned. Ha.
Oh, God. Porn knowledge? Yay.
First, human sexuality is a spectrum and is poorly understood by most. Some people fall between things like bisexual or homosexual, etc. Now for terminology. Threesomes. Threesomes can come in multiple organizations. Male, female, male, female, male, female, male, male, female, 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 male.
Yes.
That seems like the same if you just use two of them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's based on aggression level. Maybe if you got an aggressive male and female and then a submissive male, maybe that the first letters are the aggressive ones. But
so that's what I was saying. That it's three fucking people, but Cole and people like. Okay, sorry.
This arrangement, organization of the letters denotes who is playing with whom during the extracurricular activity. The difference is that everything is happening at once, unlike a tag team. Yeah. Tag team includes three people, men or women, but people are either tagged in and out or finish up and get tagged out. Train. When a train is run, there are multiple partners and one recipient, but once one of the men or women finish, they're done, like train cars. The cars leave the station and you can't get on the train once it leaves the station. If it's several people tagging in and out, more than two, then it's no longer a threesome, then it's a foursome or fivesome, etc. Love the show. Keep it up, LOL. Colin.
Okay.
Thanks, Colin, for the input.
Yeah. I don't know it. Yeah. Okay. I don't know what to say to that.
Why?
Because what am I supposed to say? It's just his definition of those terms.
I'm just saying it is very important to know these things.
Is it?
Yes.
Why is it important to know these things?
Because
where is this knowledge going to come in handy for me?
I had a kid on my caseload.
Okay.
That told his mama. We ran a train on a girl.
Oh my God.
Now, mama, because of her upbringing, was like, I know that when a parent reacts aggressively to things they don't like, it pushes the child away to do those things and not talk about them because that's how I was.
Yes.
So I didn't respond like that.
Okay.
I kind of said, okay.
Okay.
And I basically communicated with her, even if you're not going to respond to it aggressively,
you need to respond to it.
You need to let that child know that in no way are you okay with that.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
what does this have to do with terminology of porn terms? That's not.
Well, if you're going to have kids one day, some of this stuff could potentially pop up.
No, I know what a train is, though. Either way, yeah, listen, and guess what? If it's my son, I don't give a fuck if it was two girls or him and one girl and him tagging. None of that shit really don't matter. I don't need to know the specifics for me to have a conversation with him about how this is not okay. I don't need to know the specifics. I actually don't want to fucking know this particulars in that particular instant. I don't need to know the details. I don't want to know.
You might need to.
Why would I need to know? Either way, we need to talk about you having group sex, period. I don't care if it's a train. I don't care if it's a threesome. It doesn't matter. So my focus is going to be on group sex. The details and specifics, I don't really give a fuck about.
Listen, it's important though.
It's not important for me to know the details.
Listen, the reason it was important for her is because it was two dudes and they didn't use condoms. Like, that's a problem.
Either way, it don't matter. The order don't matter.
That's the difference between you taking your kid to the clinic, you worrying about whether this girl is pregnant. Like, you need some extra knowledge. You can't be like, you did that. You're in trouble. Bye.
I'm not going to need the knowledge of who was there for me to ask, was there protection used? That still does not have shit to do with who was present and whether it was a train or a threesome. That is not relevant. Yes, protection is relevant because I would need to know we need to go to the clinic. But like the particulars of who was involved, no, I don't need to know that shit. It don't matter. It don't matter. He had group sex. Period. Don't matter. I don't want to know the particulars. And for me, contraceptive is not a particular. I don't need to know the participants. Don't need to know who was there or how many it was. I don't want to know all that. I don't. That is not a situation in which I need to get that graphic. We just need to know, one, it's not okay. Two, did you use protection? No, let's go to the clinic. Yes, at least you had that done right. But I don't want to know the particulars. I don't need to know the particulars. So this is not knowledge that is going to come in handy for me. It's not. It's just not. I don't need to know.
So when your kids ask you one day what is a threesome,
what you gonna say? Threesome is 3 people involved in sexual acts. That's how I'm going to
And what if they ask you what is a gangbang?
Why would they be asking me this shit? No.
Because kids learn crazy shit at school.
Look, I'll cross that bridge when I get there.
No, you ain't gonna be able to cross it.
I Google it if I need to at the end. I don't need to just have this rattling around in my fucking head.
I'm gonna make sure you got this knowledge.
Because of some possibilities that maybe one day in the distant future.
Well, I'm gonna make sure you got it.
This is not useless. I like useless knowledge. This ain't useless knowledge that I want.
This is what's going to happen.
No.
Okay?
I don't need it.
I'm sorry right now.
I don't need it.
Every time I get an opportunity.
Why?
I ain't gonna go out my way. But every time I get an opportunity, Red, it's coming.
It's ridiculous and unnecessary. Shit. What the fuck was the other one? Was that it for Colin? Thanks, all right. Colin, I guess. Is it? I guess this person's gonna remain anonymous because apparently this is gonna be a really fucking terrible question. Because On Point wouldn't tell me off air. So the first time I'm hearing this shit is gonna be right now.
Yep. All right. So this person looked me up and sent me a message to my personal Facebook because Red is connected to everything else. And you know what?
So fucked up.
This is supposed to be a surprise to Red. She don't even know what it is.
It is bad. Don't nobody give me good surprises on this show.
You set yourself up like this.
I didn't. How did I set myself up this? No, you did that by saying send shit in that makes Red uncomfortable. No, you did this. This is you.
If you were not uncomfortable and if you didn't relate to the world that you're super uncomfortable, nobody, including me, would even know or give a rat's ass.
How I respond. It's just what I can't temper it. I am uncomfortable, therefore I respond uncomfortably.
But see, it's not just about responding uncomfortably. A lot of people can respond uncomfortably. You respond uncomfortably in your aggressive way that makes it fun. It is fucking fun to hear you squirming and hearing you be kind of grossed out, upset, and I don't want to say intrigued, but
that is not accurate. That is not accurate.
Hey, you asked some questions in that episode that you didn't want the answers to, but you asked them though.
Oh yeah, about cream pie.
Yeah, you asked them. Like in the context of the conversation we having, ain't no way in shit cream pie could have been nothing that you wanted to know about at all. Like, period.
Because I've seen it before, but I didn't know what it is, and I didn't want to click on it and see what it is because then I'm going to have to see it, and I figured it was something gross. And it is. And if I had clicked on the video, that would have been 10 times worse than you just giving me an explanation.
Was it gross?
Yes. It's fucking gross. Yes, it is. It ain't no shit I want to see.
It's just a man shooting the club up. That's how people have kids.
I don't need to see it to know that that's how people have kids. Like, I don't have, the same way, guess what? When I had to give birth, I ain't going to see that shit. They had a little sheet up there. I don't need to see the shit. I don't need to know what's happening down there. Just get the kid out. I don't want to know. There are some things in life that I just don't need to know about. I'm cool on it. I don't need to see it. I don't need a visual. I'm not a visual learner. I'm not at all. I don't need it. What was his fucking question?
Hello. I wanted to look you up and message directors. I saw a question for Red that would be super, super uncomfortable, but would also be easy to have come out of nowhere if she didn't have prior knowledge that a listener had sent it in. I'll leave it up to you whether you like to bring it into a dialogue of the listener question or just bring it, but it came up a few weeks ago and having just caught up, came to mind for me listening to the Pornhub figures you two were discussing.
Everybody is so fucking fascinated with that porn episode.
My wife and I were super surprised that there are people who don't know what Bang Bros is, by the way. To us, they're basically the Universal Studios of internet filth. Anyway, the story...
Good for him for having a wife that's willing to watch Bang Bros with him, I guess.
What you mean? She probably knew what Bang Bros was before he came into the picture.
What Bang Bros
but why is the assumption that the man is the person that the woman want to be watching it with?
Already know that niggas watch porn more than women do. I feel like that stands to reason.
I don't know.
I feel like it is. But go on. I'm ready to get this over with.
Anyway, the story I read could come easily about during the conversation about parenting, i.e., what would you do if your son grew up and did this? So A guy's mom finds his porn stash.
Okay.
And it turned out to be hardcore incest porn. Son on mom. Now, what is the scenario that you have a child? Or if you can't conceptualize yourself in the situation, conceptualize a client in that situation. A client whose mom found hardcore incest porn in his porn stash.
You know what that question reminds me of?
What?
The Strange Thing with the Joneses, or whatever the fuck the name of that little internet movie.
What was it called? There's something strange about the Joneses.
Something strange about the Jones, or something to
if
that
y'all don't know what
effect.
it is, a story about these two
It's the equivalent, but just with
opposite.
It's him and his dad instead of his mom, and he actually followed through with it.
It's a weird ass story about this sociopathic rapist son that was raping his daddy, and the mama knew about it, and they were just so passive they didn't know what to do.
Yeah, that's what that reminds me of. It's just as uncomfortable as that, because like I kept seeing people talk about it, but nobody said what it was, and so then when I watched it, and like the first time that he raped his dad, I was just sitting there, parent, like, oh no, wait, no, what the fuck is this? And it's not even that long. It's like a 30-minute thing. It's not even like a whole long movie, but it was disturbing. That's what that reminds me of. I don't even fucking know where to begin with that. If a client came in and found incest porn, I just, I don't know. I don't.
So my first thoughts are that incest usually would develop from a family that something inappropriate done happened to that person.
Yeah. I mean, but depending on the kid and personality disorder, you don't think it could be a perceived thing?
Extreme Oedipus complex.
Yeah.
I mean, it happens.
Yeah, it's Oedipus. It's Electra with girls. Yeah.
I mean, it could be. But that's things you supposed to outgrow that. You supposed to outgrow that Oedipus or Electra complex
but
around
what if during that Oedipus, because I've had clients, or I've had people come to our center. I didn't see them, but like my supervisor and other counselors have seen them, where the kids were exposed to porn at an early age. And so now it's an issue. So like a kid that had that going on, that got exposed, somehow ran across some fucking incest porn, they wouldn't grow out of it, because then now it's been exacerbated by like the physical, like seeing it.
How would
and
you
the
get
reaction.
the incest porn specifically?
Listen, there was a kid. I forgot how old the kid was. Like he was like 10 or 11. Randomly, somehow, ran across some furrying porn. And like became obsessed with furrying, and I don't even remember. He searched something unrelated or something close somehow, and clicked on the video, and got obsessed with furrying porn. So it's possible.
Let's see. What would I do? Damn.
Yeah. So if your daughter, because that would be the equivalent for you. If your daughter,
I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm gonna find out who in the fuck been fucking my daughter life up right now. Anybody she been staying with, any friends. Who did you get this shit from? Number one. You know what I'm saying? Where did this come from?
Oh my God. Like, so, cause I didn't have, my mom had nowhere near as creepy of a scenario, but so my brother used to drive trucks, my oldest brother, and he was living at my parents' house because he was over the road all the time. So all his mail came to their house, and my mom ordered a camera. Okay. Now, for whatever reason, she was so excited about getting her camera that like an Amazon box came to the house, and it didn't register with her that her camera probably was not going to come in this big ass box, right? She was just like, it must be my camera. Didn't look at the name on the box, none of that. Opens it up, box full of porn. Looks at the thing, it was actually from my brother. She was so fucking creeped out, and just like, she was just, didn't know what to do. just taped the shit back up and like gave it to him with all the rest of his boxes and just didn't mention it. Just didn't say anything to him. So like that's awkward enough. Like, but like, and then you open up the box and it's incest porn. I can't fathom. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't have an answer.
Listen, we have some extreme examples of shit that what would you do with your kids type shit. But you're going to have some shit.
Yeah, I know I'm going to have some shit.
To go on with your kids. You better have a strategy.
What? Father,
you
go
can't
talk
just
to
beat
your
their ass
son.
and throw them in the corner.
No,
Cut that shit out. Block,
hey,
block, block, block.
Hey, Dad, you need to go talk to your son because he fucking jacking off in socks and I can't. That's your lane.
You might not be able to trust him to do that.
Why? I can't trust myself.
If you send him in there to talk about trains, he gonna be like, so how was it?
Oh my God. Why are men disgusting?
Boy. That's my boy.
Why are men so disgusting?
How the girl look?
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, she was chubby. Well, you know, different strokes for different folks.
That's horrible. I would hope that the man that I married would not do no shit like that. But niggas, who knows? I would have to trust that he's gonna, because I would prefer that. I'm sorry. I don't want to. I'll handle the periods and shit. Like, I got that. But this shit, him jacking off,
the universe is going to make
Why would
your
you
life
say
hard.
That? Why would you say that?
Because that's what the universe do.
It doesn't have to do it with this particular thing, though.
The universe do it with everything. The universe don't give a fuck that. The universe does not give a fuck that you are you. Okay? The universe does not give a fuck about how uncomfortable your uncomfortables make you.
But why can it not be something that I can just let his dad handle? Like, it might come and I might be like, you know what? Because I'm a firm believer in you don't have to talk to a kid right when shit happens, especially if you talking to them is going to be detrimental. If you talking to them right then because you angry or whatever it is, like, don't just, you can send them to their room and talk to them later. Like, I absolutely talk to them that same day, but I'm a big proponent of if you're going to fuck it up by responding immediately, don't respond immediately. But that would be a situation in which I would not respond immediately.
But the other side to that is if you can't respond, the longer time goes without you responding, they're crafting their understandings about these things and their personality from their own flawed perspective.
Listen, if they dad live in the house, that nigga's not going to be gone for weeks on end. He going to be right back. He coming in from work in like 10 minutes. I'm going to brief him. He going to go in and talk to little Johnny. I'm not talking to little Johnny. It's not, that's your father-son bonding time. That's for y'all to do. Because you understand that more. That I didn't jack off in socks, so I don't know what to say to him. I don't know how to approach that. I don't fucking know. So I'm going to let y'all have that. You handle that. You need to go talk to your son. You're doing some weird shit. And as a dude, I'm sure you understand the weird shit. I don't understand the weird shit, so I'm going to let you handle it. Because I'm probably going to fumble it. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to fumble the shit out of this one. So I'm going to pass the ball off to you. Let you run that bitch across the, I don't know, football. That's where my knowledge stops.
Right, across the goal line.
Across the goal line. I'm gonna let you go on, take it the rest of the way. I can't do this one, but I got you when this punt come up. I got that, but I can't. Do this.
So when your daughter start inquiring about meats, that's you.
Oh, fuck.
That's you though, right?
It's gonna have to be me. Because at this point, I'm not going to be able to get out of it because he going to be like, because I talked to Johnny about this checking off, so now I got to talk to him about this.
I don't trust you with that.
Why you?
I'm going to need your husband to do that too.
Why?
Your husband going to need to do the sexually related stuff, okay? Whether it's a girl or a boy.
Why I can't do
it? If it's woman body stuff, take care of that. You can't. You going to mess it up. I feel like you'll be like, meats are evil. If a boy ever tell you to touch him, you gonna get a rash on the inside of your hand that's gonna never go away. You won't be able to write. You won't be able to touch people. If you see one, you gonna go blind for 2 hours. Now you get your sight back in 2 hours, but a lot of shit can happen in 2 hours if you blind. You get hit by a car. You can fall down some stairs. You can get your ass beat. It's a lot of shit that can happen blind. So 2 hours, you don't need to handle that.
I might.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. I don't have a point of reference for how to handle this because my mom, we didn't have conversations like that. Like the bulk of my mom's sex talk was, don't bring no babies back here. And if you do, you and the baby going to college because you still getting out of here. Like, that was it. That was literally it. There was nothing else. There wasn't nothing. That was it. I'm 33 years old. To this day, that is it. No conversations. No, not even nothing.
That's why you have to not be knowledgeable about it, because I didn't get that. Okay, people in high school in like 7th and 8th grade. I specifically remember this dude. His name was PC Perez Cofield.
Okay, give his whole government name.
I mean, shit, he ain't listening. Maybe somebody who listening will go tell him.
Oh Jesus!
But he always used to be like, "You beat your meat. You beat your meat." I had no idea what the fuck that was. I was just like, "No, I don't. I didn't know what the fuck beating your meat was."
You didn't go home and ask your mom, did you?
No, I didn't.
Okay, all right.
I masturbated by accident one time.
I mean, I know. So
the next logical question that anybody will ask is, how do you masturbate by accident? So I'm going to answer that question. I'm not saying you.
I didn't
you
ask.
Definitely wouldn't ask that. You would ask what a cream pie is, but you wouldn't ask. So
this is going to haunt me forever.
I don't know if anybody knows about the Adam and Eve and Spice channel. If you do, those are those channels on cable TV. That was channel 98 and 99. They had lines on it and you couldn't really see it if you didn't pay for it. But the only way they can block people from seeing it is send an analog signal that block that channel out. Now, if you pay for it, then you can see the porn that come on that channel. But if you lay in your bed at night and watch between the lines, you might see a titty right here. You might see an ass cheek right there. Listen, when you don't have access, when you don't have a dad in the home that has a porn or Playboy collection, which, mind you, almost all my friends whose daddies lived in their house had some kind of porn collection or Playboy collection and all of that.
Why are boys so curious about porn? Like, I wasn't trying to watch porn. Like, that was not a thing. Like, the first time, how old was that the first time I saw porn? It was college, probably. Yeah, probably college. Like, I just wasn't trying to watch porn. That wasn't. But it's like y'all seek out porn and like porn magazines. Well,
it's because we have a constant reminder that our sexuality is here.
Which is what?
Which is a dick.
Oh.
Like when the blood start flowing and that shit pop up in your pants and you ain't finna walk around the classroom or nothing. It's a constant reminder that I got some shit I'm supposed to be doing something with. Everywhere you go.
Okay.
You know, y'all shit is internal. Y'all shit like a fucking pyramid. They just now discovering all the fucking inside canals of the fucking pyramid. Our shit ain't like that. Our shit is the fucking Eiffel Tower. It is just right there. Okay? And we have a constant reminder that our sexuality is with us. Y'all don't.
No, we don't.
Every man that had a situation where they was sitting in the classroom and their dick randomly get hard and it's like, I hope I ain't got to get up and go to the board. Or no shit like that. I mean, okay. Every dude.
I guess that's acceptable.
So we got a constant reminder. Okay. And you know what? Once you are introduced to something that invokes that sexuality, then you become more and more intrigued about it. But this dude and everybody else in school using "you beat your meat" as a diss, I didn't know what it was. So I was like, okay, you know, I'm just going to say I don't do it. Everybody else say they don't do it. I don't do it.
Why was it a diss?
Because, you know, at a certain age, masturbation ain't acceptable. I mean, clearly you're at an age where you're not supposed to be having sex, but the few people who done had sex shun you for not having sex at that point.
Okay, that makes sense.
So they be like, well, you beat your meat. You know, now if grown me could go back into my 8th grade body, I'd be like, everybody beat their meat. You do too. I do too. Dang, can't remember what's one of my male teachers' name? Mr. Southwell, you beat your meat.
Oh,
I would have got sent to the office.
You sure the fuck
but you know what? Now me would have said that shit if I could go back into myself back then. But I was watching the Spice Channel, Adam and Eve, for some time, for probably a year, not knowing. I was just watching it. And one night I fell asleep and I pulled the covers up over myself and it was over. It was a wrap. It was just enough stimulation to take me to Mount Olympus.
Are we done? I think that was answered.
Hey, I'm just saying. If your husband be gone for 3 weeks in a row, I guess you need to call me. You need to call me and let me handle this.
Hey, guess what? All this technology in the motherfucking world, you better FaceTime your fucking daddy. Here, your daddy want to talk to you. Go in your room. He can still handle that
I'm
shit. I
just
don't
saying.
care where he at in the world.
Worst case scenario.
You don't stop being a dad because you on the road.
Worst case scenario.
Shit.
You don't know what to do immediately. You can't get them on the phone. You need to call somebody. Don't handle this shit yourself. Between your daughter or your son, don't handle it yourself.
I'm not the one. No.
How weird would it be in like this case if this mama didn't know that her son was watching this kind of stuff and he was just sitting real close to her on the couch and stuff?
Stop. No.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Just no.
You ain't got no poker face. How would you, if a client came to you with this shit, you be all fucked up.
Look, I have a great poker face. Like rarely does like somebody shake my resting bitch face these days. But some shit like that, like every now and then somebody will say something and I'll just be like, huh. Because I don't know what to say. This would be a case. This would absolutely be a case where I just I don't even know what my face would look like if somebody came and sat on my couch and was like, I found my son's collection of porn. Because at first I will be like, well, he's that's what no, it's incest porn, like mom and son. I don't even know. Like from that point, I don't know. I don't know. It wouldn't be a helpful response.
What if you had a kid that came in there and said, I keep having thoughts about having sex with my mama? Which one is worse?
The kid. Because the mom obviously is going to be uncomfortable. So me being uncomfortable and her being uncomfortable because she's probably like, ew too. But the kid he uncomfortable too, but it's an uncomfortable that I could cause damage if I respond the wrong way. So that would be worse because it'd be harder for me to like taper my response to not make this situation worse than what it already is. But
what about a mom that was interested in having sex with her son?
I'm just gonna call the police. That's illegal.
What if her son is 30?
Jeez,
and she's 60. This is more than what we can handle here at the center. I'm not trained in this. Let me get you to something. Like I don't even know where the fuck you would send somebody like that. You know, a lot of stories came out about parents.
Donald Trump gets a boner for Ivanka. I don't give a shit what nobody said. That man is aroused by his daughter. He's so fucking creepy. That shit, nobody's gonna make me believe otherwise. I'm sorry. He is way too obsessed with her and way too fucking creepy and saying shit like my daughter is a nice piece of ass. Who the fuck says that about their kid? Like, no, I know it happens. Donald Trump is a perfect example of it because him and Ivanka's relationship is real weird. I don't know if he didn't ever acted upon it, but he didn't have thoughts. Ain't nobody gonna convince me otherwise. That nigga is creepy as fuck.
All right. For a lot of people, I know a lot of this dialogue might be somewhat uncomfortable.
Yes.
As it is for Red.
Including
me. These groups of people exist in our society.
No, they do. I mean,
it can easily be somebody around you. It can easily be somebody connected to you.
Yeah.
And at some point, you might have to have a dialogue that addresses some of these things.
I don't know why you such a big proponent of people preparing for shit that may or may not ever happen. Like the likelihood of this is so small.
I'm a worst case scenario thinker. You know what? I in my head, I have a scenario for if I'm standing outside and shit start falling from the sky, like hail or random shit, which vehicle I'll get up under to protect myself, or what? Like I have strategies for a whole bunch of shit.
That's because you're weird. Everybody doesn't do that though.
But if they have somebody like me in their life that's going to help them
I don't want
prepare
you to help
for potential
me with
shit.
This, though.
Listen,
I don't want
I would rather you be uncomfortable now with me saying what I'm saying than this shit to be an utter surprise one day and you have a heart attack.
What happens if it never happens? Now I got this shit in my head for no fucking reason until I get Alzheimer's or dementia.
You said you like useless facts.
Not these
Well,
kinds.
I'm just saying. Most of the useless facts you have in your head, if you read one of them 600 useless facts about animals or 600 useless facts about the human body.
I have a book in my bathroom that's like 1,000 useless
Yeah,
factors
like
and shit.
condensed soup for the human mind,
Yeah.
like all them different books
I
that
enjoy
have
those things.
You know,
yes, this ain't that.
what I'm saying is 90% of that shit you ain't never gonna talk
You
about to
right.
nobody.
But
So don't use the shit that I talk about
But
in the
it's not
terms of what you might not
uncomfortable.
use it for.
Animals is not uncomfortable. Random celebrity facts, random president facts, that's not uncomfortable. This shit is uncomfortable, and I don't feel like I should have to be uncomfortable unnecessarily.
Did you know that for every chocolate bar you're eating, you potentially eating at least 2 spiders?
I don't eat chocolate.
You don't eat chocolate.
I don't.
Anybody else? Mushrooms.
I don't eat mushrooms. I
You
don't
don't
like
eat
the
mushrooms.
consistency.
You
They're
don't eat
rubbery.
shit. I can't even make my point because you picky as fuck. Damn.
I don't eat mushrooms. They're rubbery. I don't like it. I was just talking about mushrooms today.
Point
actually.
diverted. I can't even do it now. Them the only 2 facts I can think of on top of my head, and you don't do neither one of the shits. Apparently, mushrooms are hard to keep bugs out of, and chocolate too when they harvesting them. That like
I'm glad I don't eat them.
they have to manufacture them with bugs in them sometimes.
That
So
gives-
when you
that
eat
gives me
chocolate,
even more of a reason
it's gonna
not to
have
eat
bugs,
those
spiders in it
things.
potentially because spiders hang around where they harvest chocolate at, and mushrooms is gonna have just other little bugs and stuff in it, like canned mushrooms, not actual mushrooms if you get them.
That gives me even more of a reason not to eat them shits.
I'm just saying there is some shit that's uncomfortable that you ain't never gonna goddamn have a
But
conversation
even
about.
that, if I eat chocolate, and I don't want to know that there could potentially be bugs in there. That is something that I'm happy to not know. Because guess what? Even knowing that shit, it don't help me decipher what if I got some of the chocolate with the spiders or if I didn't. So why would I want that rattling around
Well,
my
you
head
know
while
what?
I'm eating chocolate?
I didn't know I was gonna find that shit out until I turned to page 35, and you ain't know that shit until you came to record this damn podcast. So boom, it ain't like you did it to yourself. Somebody else did it to you. But once you got the knowledge, it's there. You can do something with it if you like. Don't have to do anything with it. But one day if it pops up. But at the end of the day, if we gonna turn this shit into an umbrella, and this shit is about kids, there is a lot of uncomfortable shit that's gonna happen with your kids.
know.
I actually think
I got
somebody on the
dogs right
plane.
now. Part of the
I
reason
think
why.
a kid on the plane today, daughter that was too old, shit on herself on the plane. Her daddy was asleep. Like we flying at midnight, and I'm like, what the fuck is that smell?
Oh no!
And they was on the aisle adjacent to me, and as soon as they went to the bathroom and came back, the smell was gone. I was like, you too old to be damn shitting on yourself before you wake your daddy up and tell him I got a shit. Wow. I mean, clearly you don't say it like that to your daddy if you a kid.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
You say I got a boo boo or whatever.
Okay, is that the last letter?
Yes.
Thank God. Before we move
This
on,
shit ain't over.
I know it isn't because for whatever reason people like hearing me uncomfortable. Before we move on, I feel like this should like fit into the listener letter portion of the show. So, as you know, Cole was on the show last week.
Cole Jackson
Cole Jackson from
Government
Government
Name
Name
Podcast. Shogun.
And he also did their show. Okay, so I went to go listen to their show, and he was talking about how this white woman came into where he works and was like, "You're just all kinds of handsome. Do you mind if I give you my phone number so you can call me?" And he doesn't date white women, and he was like, he took it, but he wasn't gonna call her, whatever. That's fine. The problem came in as they continued talking. He was like, he don't understand why black women don't do that. And me and him have had this conversation before, and he was like, why don't they? And I was like, well, a lot of stuff that we do as black women comes off aggressive. As it comes off more aggressive than when white women do it. You know what I'm saying? Like we get labeled aggressive more easily. A prime example of this. Me and my white coworker was coming late. I'm talking about late as fuck. And I knew I was wrong. I knew I was being late to work. I just didn't really give a fuck. Whatever. So my supervisor had to have a conversation with us. My supervisor is white. Now when she go talk to my white coworker about us being late, she go in there by herself, sit down, talk to her about being late. She needs to start coming on time, whoop-de-whoop, whatever. But when it comes time for her to talk to me, she had to have somebody else in the room with her to talk to me, which I found offensive as fuck because it's like, bitch, what you thought I was going to do? I was going to box you out for calling me out on my, you know what I'm saying?
Did you address it?
No, I didn't, because she the type of white person that it would have been, no, like she'd had some fucking reason why this other person was in here with her. And I wasn't supposed to know that she had talked to my other coworker. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, but shit like that, you feel like I'm gonna be more aggressive in my response, so you need backup and shit. You know what I'm saying? That crosses over into other things. We just get, we the sassy black women, the angry black one. You get all of this shit. So we don't do shit white women do, and like the question why is like, nigga, what you mean? Like, we're viewed completely different than white women. White women have a whole different. But anyway, so we had that conversation before. He thinks that reasoning is bullshit, and that black women just feel like I ain't gonna chase you. I ain't finna be chasing behind you. You need to come chase after me. So the thing that upset me during this was that he said, well, white women have this perceived, like this confidence about themselves that allows them to do things like this. So the other end of that is white women have this confidence, black women don't do this, so black women don't have that confidence. Now, he was like, I didn't say that, you assume it. But context clues, my nigga, is a real thing. So I got upset. I was like, well, it sounds like you do need you a white woman. It sounds very much like you appreciate the confidence that they have. If you need a confident woman who gonna come and give you their phone number and be, forward with you, then by all means. You know what I'm saying? So we had a back and forth. Now, I did react, in a very red-like manner initially. I did come back and apologize because I kind of like, I went off the deep end a little bit. I don't apologize for what I said. I apologize for how I said it because I meant the shit that I said. I still think that he was wrong, but he feels like he wasn't. And so we just kind of had to agree to disagree on the shit. But why black women don't do anything that white women do is because white women can do it. Like the way that white women are going to be viewed when they do anything is going to be totally different. And I know that from personal experience. Like I said, my supervisor felt like she needed backup. I ain't never gave this woman no reason to believe that I would snap on her. I ain't never got small with her. I've never done any of these things that would lead her to believe that, I need to have somebody else in here when I talk to Red because she gonna go off on me. No, nothing has ever happened that would lead her to believe that. So the only difference between me and my coworker, because we both were the same amount of late.
Well, maybe she had somebody in there with her to keep her from putting hands on you.
That bitch is not crazy.
Says the person that wouldn't even confront this dynamic.
Because it wasn't, first of all, like I said,
you ain't want to dry snitch, I understand.
I wasn't supposed to know that she...
You ain't want to dry snitch, yeah. I got you.
So, and two, I've learned just in dealing with white folks, I can tell whether somebody's gonna be receptive of shit or not. She's the kind of, it's gonna be every excuse under the fucking, like, she's not gonna receive it. She's not gonna receive it. She's not gonna be like, you know what? She's not gonna take this as an opportunity to learn and do better. Like, she ain't that kind of white person. So it would have been a waste of my fucking time to do that.
But see, the way that I address people when I know they like that is I have a grenade in my hand. I pull the pin out the grenade and I roll it into the room and then I leave. So what I would probably do is be like, is it protocol to have an extra person in here when you had this conversation with me because I really don't want other people knowing my business?
She would have been like, yes it is.
And then I would have said, well, I hope with everybody that you have this conversation with, there is another person in the room.
But how am I gonna know? That's the thing.
Don't. That's how you throw the grenade in there. You don't know if they blew their ass up or not. You just roll that bitch in there and hope they was in the side. You hope it hits what you were trying to hit, because now the next time she in a room alone, she can't fuck around and let you find out that that's happening.
She can't.
And she knows that. So now you roll the grenade in that bitch.
4 years into working with this lady, like she's stupid. She's a supervisor because she kissed ass to get that position. That's the truth.
Brown nose.
She's not a very so like the grenade would just be in there. She probably wouldn't even notice you rolled that shit in there. Like, that's how oblivious she is.
It don't matter. It would make me feel better to think that she might have enough sense
with her,
to get that. Or otherwise, it's going to make me feel bad that a dumbass is my supervisor. Like, that would make me feel worse if I don't do it because my supervisor's dumb. I'd rather do it hoping they get it.
Every day I feel bad. But like I said, that's my reality. So like, don't tell me that, black women just don't do it because they want people to chase them. First of all, I don't know how you think you can speak for every black woman. Secondly, I don't know how you think you can speak for every man, because he was like, men don't find that aggressive. I know for a fact, AC Blow being one, who he does not like when women are aggressive or when they like approach him and try to, because he feel like that's, as a man, that's what he's supposed to do. He still has a very old-fashioned way of thinking, so he feel like he's supposed to be the pursuer. So my whole thing was, you don't speak for all men, nigga. Say you want somebody that's gonna come and do the work in the beginning. Say you, but don't say men don't find that aggressive. How the fuck do you know? You know what you don't find aggressive. And this tone of voice is why I had to call back and say I was sorry. But it's just like, you speaking about your perspective, like it's the perspective of all men, and we all know that that's not true. Like, this been your experience, but in my experience, there are a lot of men who find that to be unattractive. They like to chase. They're the hunter. They want to go out and they want to get the women, and so they don't want you coming up to them and they do see it as aggressive. Like, but a white girl, it might look a little different because we just view differently in general. So we had a long back and forth about that.
I think that everything Cole said about white women was how the white girl in Get Out was up until she couldn't find them keys.
Yep.
Exactly. Like, I feel like that's who he described. Like, she went after the black men, she got them, but they weren't nothing but trophies, tokens, things to be acquired and used to her own benefit. So I think that does happen, but it happened with black women. Like,
there are black women
confidence.
Who do that.
I think confidence may be the wrong word.
Yes, it is.
And like Shogun was saying, it just ain't nothing that would hold them back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
Like, black women moving forward in our society is like moving forward with a bungee cord on.
Yeah.
You know, and white women just,
Tra-la-la-la-la.
they ain't got no attachments to them.
No.
Like, everything in society protects them. There's nothing in society that's harmed them. Legislation that was supposed to help brown people, affirmative action helped white women more than it helped anybody. Like, they have so many legs up and advantages in this society. Even with the Me Too movement, black women are not being listened to still, while white women are, when they verbalize those same issues, are not even being challenged on it when black women are. Like, I think a big part of the dialogue is that there's a big difference between how black women and white women are perceived in our society. You know?
And that was my point.
But the key word is perceived. You know,
but the perception is what you get treated off of, and so that's how you're gonna act accordingly. Like, I'm not, again, back to my boss, I'm not aggressive. I was not gonna do anything, but her perception was that I was going to, so she felt like she had to protect herself. So now I feel like I have to be even more like, because it's like, what the fuck have I done that made you feel like you needed another motherfucker in here? Like, you know what I'm saying?
But that's what makes the word perception very valuable, because a woman that is as assertive as a man is a bitch.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the perceptual part. That's what society does to how you perceive a group.
Yep.
That's the reason why. That's why white women can be considered confident, but black women can be considered arrogant or sedity. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just perception, and society has done that. And I don't think we understand how deeply that has infiltrated the psyche, not only of people that perceive black women, but it's black women as well. But the way I look at that, I don't look at that. I look at that as independent. That's what independence looks like. I mean, you can go to any creature, any species, and find a species that is an independent species. That's how they are. And usually it's because that's how they have to be.
Yeah.
And in the society that we live in, black women are what they are because they have to be it. And that's why I love black women. Like, I would not look at that shit as a criticism. I know what that is. I know what it looks like. I was raised by a woman that had that. My grandmama wasn't so much that. My mama wasn't so much that. But my daddy mama was that.
Yeah.
My daddy mama shot my granddaddy one time. She wasn't dealing with that abuse shit no more. He picked up his gun. She picked up that gun. He said, "What you gonna do with that?"
Shoot
Bah!
your ass.
Got his ass. Like,
the fuck?
Like, she didn't even think twice. Then she called the police that I just shot my husband. Come and get him.
Damn.
So, like,
Is that who you call Granny?
Yes.
She's a badass. Your
Granny
is badass.
Granny don't fuck around. She don't got no knees, no hips. all that shit is created in a factory.
That's so funny.
But she walk a mile every day. She had breast cancer, and on her way to surgery to get it removed, she was smiling. The doctor said, "I wish every damn patient I had was like you." You know, like that's the kind of granny I got. That she morbid. She be calling me talking about it. I was about to say my name. On point, you better come and get these recipes before I go on up to glory.
They love talking about going up to glory. What?
I'm like, Granny, you know, people don't like when you say stuff like that, right? She was like, well, it's true. We all going one day. You better get everything you can from everybody. Like, okay, Granny, I'm okay. I'm morbid like that, but you know, don't tell sis that. She gonna have a fit.
Your granny is a G. But yeah, like, I guess I got so upset just because it's perceptions like that is why I get told when I'm out walking around, smile. Like, bitch, I'm grocery shopping and I'm thinking about what the fuck. Like, I'm sorry that my face isn't pleasing to you at this moment. I'm sorry I wasn't smiling. Like, I feel like psychopaths walk around. But it's just like the perception that we just don't do enough, or we ain't enough, or, you know, you need to do it this way, or you need to do it that way, and this is why black men have it. Like,
it's also a difference between chasing behind you and chasing after you.
Yeah.
Chasing behind you, especially if you done heard it coming from old people, is about men who's philandering.
Yeah.
That's about men who doing their own thing out here. Like, I ain't finna chase behind you. That's basically saying, I ain't finna deal with your bullshit.
Yeah.
But realistically, the fact that they saying to that person, I ain't finna chase behind you, means that they are chasing behind them.
Yep.
So,
cause you wouldn't even be having the conversation otherwise.
Yeah, it's kind of a conflicting dialogue. But chasing after you is the one where it's like, I'm not going to, you know, assert myself on you in dating when our societal standards is that you come after me.
And that was the thing. Another thing is, like, let's not act like society has not been set up where men do the chasing, like, from the beginning of fucking time. Like, that's how society is set up. So if you're upset about that, don't be upset at us about the shit, and don't say, well, white women. Again, I don't want to hear no shit about what white women do or don't do, because guess what, they can. And guess what, that same white woman that gave you her fucking phone number, you would have been just like motherfucking Emmett Till, hung up out here. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's also the same shit white women have done as well, confidently getting black men killed. So just please, I don't give a fuck about, don't tell me about what no white woman did and how, well, you wish black women would do that shit. Like, fuck, no thanks.
But that, in that same sense, that doesn't make Cole wrong. It just really highlights what white women can do because society allows them to, versus what black women can't do because society doesn't allow them to do it.
No,
so I think the problem with maybe how Cole verbalized it is making it seem like it's a lateral difference, you know, because of choices and decisions.
Yeah, his thing is that black women choose to not go up to people simply because I'm not gonna chase after you. I shouldn't have to do that. Like, that's his reasoning, and that's why I still feel like he's wrong. His reasoning is wrong. His reasoning for why black women don't approach him, because it's just him. Let me just say that, because again, you don't speak for all men. We talking about you specifically.
Because black women definitely approach me. They be 300 plus, but they approach me like a motherfucker. I'll tell you that right now.
And there are women that don't care about how they might be perceived by the man in doing it. There are women who don't give a fuck, and those are usually it's the ones that ain't got nothing to lose.
Hey, I'm 300 plus. I can't even talk shit.
We then discussed how you don't look like you. It's all in how you carry the weight. If you're 300 plus and you look 300 plus, that's different from being 300 plus and it's being strategically placed where it still looks pleasing to the eye. What you talking about is the ones that ain't pleasing.
It was a place in Vegas called Heart Attack Grill.
Oh.
And if you weigh 350 pounds or more, you get a free meal.
That's fucked up.
It's a scale outside.
That
you just go stand on it.
So they just contributing to people dying.
Yeah, but I know for a fact I weigh more than what that thing put on there. So they skimming off the top.
So they won't have to.
You need to weigh about 360.
That is fucking crazy. That's, oh my God. You just trying to help people die. Let me kick you on into the grave real fast. The fuck. But yeah, so, and Cole is still my friend. This is just one of those situations where we had to agree to disagree. because I still feel like that was some fuck shit that he said, and I stand behind that, and I still feel that way. But he entitled to his opinion. It wasn't anything that was gonna keep us from like being cool. But in that moment, and some other stuff that I'll talk about that had happened that day, and I was just like, can black women have any fucking thing? God damn, we got all of this shit going on out here. Now your ass on a motherfucking podcast talking shit about black women. Can I live? Fuck. Can I live? I'm already at the bottom of the motherfucking totem pole. I'm already at the very below black men, below white women, below age. I'm at the fucking bottom. And then this shit happened, which I'm going to talk about. And then I listened to the podcast, and your black ass is on here just throwing more dirt down. I'm already in the whole shit. And so I probably reacted even more strongly just because the events of that day. I just was tired of being a black woman. Not that I don't want to be a black woman, but it's just days where it's like, I don't know. What the fuck? What the fuck? Why is it so wrong for me to exist? Why do people have so much issue with the way that I exist and not okay with me existing? Like, it's frustrating. And so to hear him say that, and I hold so much respect for him, I was just like, no, not today. Not to fucking day.
It's a reason that the perception and the stereotypes with black women exist.
It's like,
but
we done had ass and lips since the beginning of the time, right? And it was joked upon, it was looked down upon. Then you had Angelina Jolie come out with lips, and now lips is a great thing, and bitches is putting Fix-A-Flat in their lips. You have J-Lo, you have the Kardashians, you have all of these people that have asses, and now it's this everybody putting Fix-A-Flat in their ass. It's only good when somebody of lighter skin does it. Then it's great, and not everybody wants to do it. When we naturally have these features and we don't have to go and get under the knife, even though some of us running out here fucking up what God already put his grace upon.
Well, not even necessarily the physical things, but those character traits that are generally attributed to black women as being loud, as being aggressive. That's universally looked at, but what I think we need to start doing is understanding what that is, what that means, and how you became a creature that does that. And from my vantage point, it's an independent creature. It's a creature that needs to survive from that instinct, from that assertion, from that aggressiveness. And, if us as black men were more strong protectors for black women, they would not feel the need to protect themselves as much as they do, because white men have always protected white women. And that's how you get a white woman that'll come out here and be confident and say, I like your suit, and say, I love me some big lips, and be like, I've always had a Mandingo fantasy, up until you sit in a chair tied up with a coffee cup, knocking your ass out, sending your ass to the sunken place. And that's the best case scenario.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario is that they wanted to rape you. You know what I'm saying? They just wanted to take his brain.
Jesus.
But I'm I'm being silly in that, but I just feel like the way that I just feel like the way that I'm looking at those traits and those qualities that black women have, and saying, I think that's what independence looks like. That's what true independence looks like. I think we need to look at what that is, and it's a big dialogue, because I never hear black women talking about what that is, because black women have to be so fucking defensive about being attacked for that shit
all the time.
It's really hard. Like, as a black man from across the street, if a police officer look at me, he don't see my degrees.
Nope.
He don't see I'm a therapist.
Nope.
He don't see that I work in the community with schools, with professionals.
Nope.
With judges.
Nope.
He don't see any of that.
Nope. You just a black man.
He got his own predisposition. He see that. And I think that as black men, we do the same thing to black women. And black women do the same thing to black men.
I think it's to a lesser extent, though. I feel like, because even with the injustices that have been happening, the response for black men when some shit happens and the response for black women is vastly different. Cause we gonna stand with y'all. We might cuss your ass out for doing this stupid shit, but we're gonna be there. We gonna stand with y'all. y'all will decide whether or not we're worthy of standing before standing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like we do it, but it's to a lesser extent. Because at the end of the day, black women, we gonna be there. We ride or die. Doug Jones got fucking elected because of it. We gonna do what we need to do. When it's time to work, we're gonna do that. And I feel like black men do that to a lesser extent. It's like, well, let me decide if I'm going to.
Well, like right now, like because it's still a big ass, and it's been for a long time. Men ain't shit dialogue.
Yeah,
you know, black men.
Yeah,
and black men are dogs, and DL brothers. You know, and so
oh my God.
It's a really. Don't get me wrong. A lot of that shit come from men, but that shit like. Right now, we just in the game that I feel like slavery put us in.
Yeah.
Whether it's team light skin, team dark skin, that's slavery. Whether
Jesus.
it's and that goes to house versus field, which is a status based.
Still nigga.
Yeah.
According to Jay-Z.
That's a
house
status.
Nigga, field nigga. Still
That's a status
nigga.
based distinction.
It is.
And whether it's family versus family, where our business is our business. We don't say our business. We don't put our business out there.
Yep.
Or whether it's man versus woman.
Yep.
When you think about slavery and you think about a mass number of people that were black on a plantation and 20 white people and wondering why they never took over the plantation is because psychological warfare is what led that battle. Pitting all of those groups against each other kept everybody divided so that they could conquer. And if you think that the remnants of that whole situation aren't here with us today, your ass blind as fuck.
Yep.
And I think we need to start looking, and I'm just a therapist. I'm overanalyze. I overanalyze life. I have a million worst case scenarios and scenarios for things that happen in conversations and dialogues.
Oh my God.
So I'm ready to have a conversation with black women about those things. I'm ready to have a conversation with men about those things. But until we're ready to have a conversation about ourselves, about why we feel those ways, and how to put the words behind how we feel, you know, then because for a white woman to compliment you and give you their number, how many white women walk the fuck past your ass? You know?
True.
You got to think about that sometimes. Like in Walmart, if one white woman stop and give you their number, shit, 60 more passed by your ass and probably called you a nigga in their head.
Clutch their purse. Well, like I said, I wouldn't have got as upset if I didn't have as much respect for Cole as I did. And like I said, I was just very disappointed at what my perception of what he's saying was. I was not happy with it. And it's because I do respect him so much. And I was just disappointed that he would even think that way about black women in general. And again, anytime somebody is praising white women, it's like, okay, well, there's a reason why that's that way. It's a reason why they feel like they can, because they've always been able to. If you've ever seen Rosewood, if you haven't seen that movie, don't watch it, because it just make you hate white people for like a week. But that whole movie, a whole town got burned to the fucking ground basically because this white woman lied and said that a black man raped her even though it was her white boyfriend. And all the niggas all these white men had been knocking this man's wife down and knew she was a hoe. But they was gonna stand behind her and protect her, and they went out just hanging people randomly just because they were gonna make sure to protect Susie's virtue and all of this shit. So white women have been protected for so long that they ain't got no reason not to feel confident about doing whatever the fuck they want to, because they can.
It's
Who gonna
really,
stop them?
I just think it's really hard to compliment white culture as a whole.
Yeah. Whether
it's white women or whether it's white men, just they really have not had shit to have to overcome.
No.
You know, looking at history, there's something about Italian people to praise, Scottish people, Irish people, all of these different white groups that are accepted as white now, that are actually a culture of their own. Yeah. And that's the difference between white pride, you know, versus having pride in where the fuck you came from. Like white pride is just because you got damn fit into a category and have a prerequisite to be revered as positive in this country. Yep. You proud of that. You know, culture is different, you know, and I think that's the difference in that situation. It's important to... I lost my thought. Trying to catch it. Couldn't.
Well, I just wanted to tag that on the end of the letters just because there was a situation that happened that I just wanted to just bring awareness to black women issues. I feel like just and bullshit that we have to deal with.
But I do have some compliments for white people as a whole. Considering that you have no melanin and the sun is as powerful as it is, I don't know how more of y'all don't get melanoma. I mean, that isn't some impressive shit. We got automatic sunblock.
We do.
So the work and energy that you put into that, impressive. Black people, some of y'all sunburn too. The sun is powerful now. We got melanin, but you can get sunburn. I want y'all to know that shit. If y'all gonna be laying out in the sun for some hours, you need to put some sunblock on your black ass because the sun is not kind to you.
Okay, if you
That's
have
impressive.
It is, I guess.
I mean, same thing if you're a light-skinned black person. I mean, you got some melanin now.
Yeah.
But you still got to take some steps.
Just not as much.
Yeah.
If you have a question you would like for us to answer on the show, you can send it in to the Gmail account, or you can send it in, catch us on Facebook, Conversation Con Artists, and send us a message that way. So let me get to the other thing that happened the same day Cole brought that shit up. The Today Show unveiled a bust of Nefertiti, and it was supposed to be this they use this digital software and based on her bone structure and the skeleton and all of this shit, which was fine. But when they unveiled it, it looked like Lady Gaga. It was very pale. And of course, Black Twitter did what Black Twitter does best. They showed their outrage in a very hilarious way. But that happened that day, and I was like, nah, they didn't turn Nefertiti white. And then I listened to this podcast and here this shit is. Nefertiti, if you look at the cave paintings, Nefertiti was shown to be lighter than the king. Is it King Tut at the time?
Yep.
But she was not a white woman by any means or any stretch of imagination. She wasn't a white woman. She wasn't a slightly tanned white woman. And that's what that bust looked like. And I went as an Egyptian queen for Halloween, and I thought I was the shit that whole night. You couldn't tell me shit. So I felt very offended when I saw that fucking bust. She had these cherry red lips and just very white. Just very white. And people were upset. And of course, white people were white-splaining and saying that, there were reasons why the skin was as light as it was. And, Egyptians aren't black. And, black people just want to claim everything. And, there was all of that shit. But did you see the bust?
I saw it. They say black people want to claim everything.
Yeah.
Well, white people actually fucking claim everything. I mean, goddamn. Why the fuck is that a critic? Y'all want to claim everything. Everything is ours, motherfucker. It's just like the shit where when a movie is all white and brown people say there should be more brown people, they say color don't matter.
Yep.
But as soon as they make a white person brown, like Valkyrie from Thor,
yeah,
they be fucking pissed. Wait a minute. Color didn't matter in Forrest Gump.
Or
but now it matters in
Mary
Thor.
Jane in the new Spider-Man movies and they were pissed. They were mad as a motherfucker.
But I don't want to conflate. The thing is, I don't want to conflate because I'm acting like everybody has that problem. It's small pockets of groups of people that have that problem. So I don't want to make my dialogue sound like I'm just lumping everybody into one little shithole of who feel this way. But at the end of the day, black folks can't win with this shit. We can't win. If we think something was ours, it wasn't ours.
You know that there's a church. I can't remember the name of the church. I should have took that story as well. That was picketing Black Panther. Here's the funny thing about white people. They hear Black Panther, automatically it's the Black Panthers, the Black Panther Party, and they were talking about how it's racist. No, I have no fucking clue what the movie is actually about. Just took the name, didn't look into it, started picketing. It's not about the Black Panther group. For anyone listening that wasn't aware that this is a Marvel movie about some comic book character. But just like, we can't even be proud and happy about Black Panther. Like, I'm happy as shit. I can't wait till Thursday. I already done ordered my shirt that says unapologetically black, and I'm wearing that shit to the theater to watch this black ass movie. I've been rocking out to the fucking soundtrack all weekend. I am ready. My soul is ready. I am ready to go and see some beautiful, and not just black people, dark skinned black people that look like my ass. This is a movie that later on, if I have kids who gonna probably be dark skinned, I can say, hey, look, positive representation. We not just slaves. And I ain't got no problem with the slave movie. I don't want to watch the shit because I know we were slaves. I just don't need to keep seeing that shit. That's my own personal opinion. But I want to see us in a positive light. I want a movie where we doing, it's a whole fucking African nation full of badass motherfuckers. I am excited. But even that shit white people want to take away and have an issue with. And we can't have shit. Y'all got every other fucking superhero. Y'all got all these other movies. Can we have this one movie?
And you know what? And you know what? Fuck the superhero movies. Y'all bitches got all the banks. Y'all bitches got all the universities. Y'all bitches got all the land. Y'all bitches got all the everything that matters in our society. And we can't even fucking have a fictional superhero character that happens to have the same name as a fucking political activist group. Because, like, goddamn, the only thing we can have is slavery. The only thing we can have is oppression.
They love them movies. Because that's it. Show what black life is really like.
The only thing we can have is indentured servitude. The only thing we can have is being a butler for your ass.
They love them movies.
The only thing we can have is our shit stolen from us. Yep. Rock and roll. Fucking our language.
Yep.
Our dance.
Yep.
Mute. Like, it's so much shit.
Yeah.
You know, but
now Nefertiti.
That is what it's like to be black in America, okay? To have everything taken from you. And, you know, me personally, I say that with a grain of salt, you know, because I'm African American, you know.
Oh yeah, Africans look down like shit on us.
I mean, not all of them.
Well, not all of them. But
they look down on us when we yell about cultural appropriation of shit that's African, like we are African, you know. Like, that's why I really pick and choose what the fuck.
The cultural appropriation conversation.
Yeah, like we African American, like we so much more American than anything else. And American really is this blanket for shit that white people accept.
Yep.
And the dilemma in that is that white people didn't always accept brown.
Nope.
And while on paper in legislation brown is accepted, you can't legislate hate.
Nope, you can't. People
it
still
don't matter how long
they feel.
You know, it's still a grandmama out there today that if they daughters or granddaughters had kids with a black man, they gonna have a problem with it. And we as a society, we need to stop acting like there aren't people that exist that continue to perpetuate the existence of those racial stereotypes, those racial problems, those differences. And you know what? They're not differences because people talk about them. They're differences because the people who believe that shit act upon it sometimes. That's why motherfuckers think that because Obama came out here, racism started back. Bitch, if you thought racism was done before President Obama was done, your ass need to die now.
But when you live in a world,
you need to go. I assume that you old. I assume that you was a baby boomer. Baby boomers got to die. Sorry, mama. I'm sorry, aunts and uncles. You know, you just fall under the umbrella of motherfuckers that gotta go. I'm sorry.
If you live in a world where racism doesn't touch you, though, of course you think it doesn't exist. And then when you start like seeing it more after President Obama, then of course he brought it with him, because in your world you don't have to deal with it.
It's like seeing a whole bunch of people in quicksand, but you ain't. It ain't like you just looking like goddamn. Now this motherfucker in quicksand. But that's how I feel like white America looking. I feel like white America should be looking at all of us in quicksand. And you know what? If you as a white American are looking at all of us in quicksand and can at least verbalize, damn, y'all all fucked up. But I ain't, and keep walking. I respect that shit more than saying that quicksand ain't shit. Y'all can walk the same way I walk. Get up out of that shit. Get out of that quicksand. I respect the former a shitload a lot more than the latter. I would rather you just say, yeah, y'all definitely fucked up, but I'm out here living my best life.
I don't know why that analogy is so fucking funny to me. So when you saw the Nefertiti bust, what were your thoughts? We got way off of Nefertiti.
First off, the bitch head was long.
It was.
Okay. Why in the world would you think? Where the white people with long faces at? First off, you know in the world that ain't no white person.
No.
Ain't no white people out here with long ass heads like that.
No.
It may be a couple of actors with long faces, but it's not enough to justify and say that her skin was this pale. But if you go over to Africa, you find a lot of long face motherfuckers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The bone structure in Africa is just different. Mm-hmm. You know, and the mere fact that Nefertiti was cultivated in an environment where the sun was made to fuck you up. That means she like the places that people have pale skin are fucking up there where the ice at, up there in Greenland, and all them European places. That's where people with pale skin thrive. Mm-hmm. If you were born in Africa, you were at least the color of a brown paper bag. And I don't understand why they can't understand that. I don't see. Go there now and find a person that's generations have been in Africa for that many years and find somebody that light outside of individuals that's Albanese.
Yeah.
Which is the politically correct way to say albino, mind you, people.
Albanese. It's just they do shit, and then when people get mad, it's like, why are y'all upset? What? You took an Egyptian queen and made her into a white woman. What do you mean? Why are we upset? I think that's. But again, it's when we have an issue, it's like, why are y'all complaining? Why are you so upset? You know, what's the big deal? But we can't have shit.
Like, if it wasn't that big of a deal, y'all would have made her skin shade 3 times darker.
Yep.
Like, don't say what's the big deal on our end. Like, we're supposed to be the only ones that give in to what's going on. Why don't, if it's not a big deal, then you just understand that shit, fix it, and go on about your business.
Yep.
But the truth of the matter is, it is a big deal to you, and you use that big deal dialogue as a way to invalidate how the other person feel, and that's bullshit.
Hell, when they were making the clay statues and doing the wall painting, they had to go out of their way to make that shit darker. That tells you that she was fucking darker, because they could have just left the shit. You know what clay looked like? Clay is pale. They made the shit darker because she was darker. Like, they went to the trouble to make sure that this looked like her, and was for people who came later on so that they know what she looked like and they know what her skin color was. They put all the effort to turn this clay the right shade. And you motherfuckers, in 10 minutes in Adobe Photoshop, fucked it to shit. I just don't understand. I don't understand. And so that day, I was just done with taking shit from us. I was done with it. I don't want to hear shit else about no motherfucking white people and the shit that they got, because we can't have shit. So again, that was why I was also so upset, because hearing you talk about how, you know, white women got this. White women got every fucking thing, including Nefertiti now. So kiss my ass. I don't want to hear no shit about no white women. Fuck them. That was my mindset.
But you know, to Cole, I will say, you know, it means something that Cole feels that way in regards to white women, but doesn't want to date a white woman and wants to date a black woman. I wouldn't say to him, well, you should go date a white woman then. I think that means that that's not enough for him anyway.
Well, then shut the fuck up.
No, I mean,
no, I know. I'm sorry.
You know what I'm saying? Just, like he gonna
I'm on 10. It's hard to come back down now.
Yeah, you ain't no in between for your ass. It's 0 or 10. You know what I'm saying? If you sick 1 or 9,
yes,
but it's mostly 0 or 10.
Yeah,
but
if I'm sick, that's accurate. That's pretty.
Sometimes it's 1 or 9, and you sound like Michelet. But
never again. Oh, I feel so bad for doing. No, I'm not gonna record. We're gonna get a stand-in. I'm not gonna do that to them again, because it was hard for me to listen to this shit, and I was the one talking. So,
but like I said, I think it means something that he would say things that would register as positive towards women, but not want that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And because I don't rule anybody out. But at the end of the day, I want to date a black woman, and I want to date an American black woman. you know. But at the end of the day, the hierarchy is American black woman, brown woman, then white woman. I don't rule nobody out. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just not one in an environment. I mean, so another thing, since we having this conversation, out in LA, out in Vegas, like, I ain't see no black people in a group until I walk past a Jamaican spot. There is no guarantee that you gonna see black folks going out to your car, and it's a city full of people walking up and down the street.
Should have went to Compton.
What the fuck am I going to Compton for?
See all kind of black people there.
The closest I got to Compton is going to Roscoe's. Okay, since we gonna mention that, I went to Roscoe's. Chicken was overcooked. And you know what? I cook, so I know what the fuck overcooked chicken is. First off, they gave me an ass drumstick. It was a drumstick that had a little hole in it, so when you fry it, the grease goes to the inside of it, and it just like cook it weird on the inside. And then when you bite it, the juice drip out. Okay, my breast was overcooked. Now those are, so the breast is a white meat. It's really easy to overcook the white meat. It's hard to overcook the dark meat. So the thigh and the wing and the drumstick were okay.
How much chicken did you have?
I had a half a chicken.
God damn.
I was like, I need to try it. But I didn't have a waffle because I didn't want a waffle.
But that's their thing, chicken and waffle.
And for 2 meals, it was like $51.
God damn.
Tell me about it. The sides were $5.99. Now, what I will say is them fucking sides. I will never ever suggest your ass buy a $5.99 side. I never will. You can make your own whole thing of macaroni that'll last you 3 days for $5.99. Cheese costs you $1.99. Macaroni shells cost you $1. You get you some milk, depending on if you want a little, just enough to make your macaroni and cheese. Get you a little bitty, pint of milk.
Yeah. Well, I can't do that. I have
if
to
you
have
wanna,
lactate.
yeah, you'll get fucked up. I mean, if you want to get jiggy with your macaroni and cheese, add some sour cream and or cream cheese to that. Give you a little creaminess in it. Throw your seasonings in it. Fucking $6, you got 4 days worth of macaroni and cheese. So I would never advocate for you paying $5.99 for that little bitty ass size bowl of macaroni and cheese. But it was fucking delicious. And the collard greens were fucking delicious. And the yams were fucking delicious.
Oh, I love yams. That's the only thing you said that I'm excited
I don't even
about.
fuck with yams like that.
Yams are delicious.
But
I love potatoes in any form.
I was with a friend. She said, you know what? Don't get the collard greens because I got those. You can have some of mine. I'll get some yams. Or you get yams. And I was like, in my head, I don't fuck with yams. And I'm like, okay, cool. I fuck with yams now.
They were delicious.
Thanks to Roscoe's. Yep. So I ain't going to take everything away from Roscoe's. It was too expensive.
Yes.
My chicken was overcooked. Apparently, I should have had a waffle. Because everybody said, motherfucker, you didn't get a waffle at Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles?
Nigga, it's in the title.
And that's...
It's in the title.
Apparently, my thoughts were wrong. Like, at first, it looked like a Waffle House waffle. 2, I know what the fuck a waffle is made out of. So, it ain't that many ways to make it amazingly delicious. It's fucking flour and eggs and butter and sugar. And I don't know how else you're supposed to make that delicious. But people were saying that the syrup is good. Like, and there's a lot of varieties and ways syrup can be good or bad. So maybe next time I go to Roscoe's, I'm going to have the chicken and waffles with some syrup on it. But it wasn't no black people out there.
Should have went to
Compton. It wasn't no black people out there. That ain't even the point. I wasn't looking for black people. When you come from a place where you don't, where it's hard to find Latino, it's hard to find Asian, everybody there is Asian and Latino.
That's where they go. They don't come here.
That's basically
what
it is.
Why would they want to come here with these big ass people? Like, you gonna get accepted a lot more in California than you will in fucking Alabama.
I feel like you should come to Alabama.
For what?
If you got your family with you when you come here. Let's say if we're talking about people coming from different countries. If you come from Asia, you're good.
Yeah.
If you come from Mexico,
no.
Our legislation and our current administration ain't really helping you on that front, but if you got who you coming over here with you need to get as far away from them states as possible. But if you like over here and your family's still over there, it's a wall about to be separating y'all ass.
Oh God. Lonzo Ball's girlfriend has secured the bag.
Okay.
She's pregnant.
Is she white?
Yeah. I was gonna say no.
I ain't not surprised. I mean, their mama white, so it ain't.
Denise. That don't necessarily mean she would, but she's that's a white girl.
Oh, you hadn't seen her?
Yeah, that's her.
Oh,
She white.
she like Jennifer Aniston.
Yes, that is accurate. She does. But
Jennifer Aniston crazy, ain't she?
No, she was married to Brad Pitt before Angelina.
That means I'm saying her relationship resume is just as bad as Taylor Swift.
Well, after Brad, yeah, because she was with Brad for a long time before he got his head lost in Angelina.
I think Angelina Jolie, she one of them women that got that poison. She got that aura, that sexual aura, like Rihanna.
Oh yeah,
but for white people and some black people. Rihanna got like an aura. I feel like if Rihanna standing in the room, it's a situation.
Yeah.
I just feel that way. I ain't been in no room with her. I don't want to be in no room with her because of that, but
is Lonzo
some women have that.
Is Lonzo the oldest son?
Yes.
His son just out here fucking up. Just
how they fucking up?
You young and in the NBA and you get your high school girlfriend pregnant. I just feel like that's a mistake. For what? For what?
What you mean?
Then you got the other son out here stealing and shit in China. And you didn't pull both of the younger ones out of school to play ball overseas. I just feel like it's just a lot of bad decisions being made in the ball
by the
household.
puppet master, by Geppetto.
By Geppetto. But Lonzo, this was a bad decision. I feel like this is a...
What you mean a bad decision? It probably wasn't a decision.
It's a fucking decision. There are too many ways for you to not have babies. We done both made it to 33 and I had no kid. It's possible.
There is a difference between deciding to have a baby and having a baby. Don't act like it ain't. Look, just because a bunch of decisions brought you to the point where you're having a baby.
She would be a fool not to have this baby. She would be a fool. She wasn't gonna not have this baby. This ain't a situation where a bitch would not have a baby. This is beneficial to her to have this baby. She gonna have this baby.
Not unless Lonzo Ball out here like Ray Carew.
Even if he ain't, she gonna be an NBA wife, and some people are just aspiring.
What I'm saying is Ray Carew, when he found out his wife was pregnant.
Oh yeah, what was it? His girl? Yeah, what was she?
I don't know what she was, but she was pregnant. He didn't want the baby.
Yeah,
and you know what? I bet if her ass could have made the decision not to have the baby, knowing what could have potentially happened.
She didn't know that nigga was gonna have her killed. Then that nigga tried to escape in a trunk. They got him in the trunk. Sad. And
the kid survived.
Yeah, but the kid got cerebral palsy.
Yeah, the kid got problems.
Yeah, because she died and the kid. It was without oxygen before and he was born early, and so he just got he's never gonna have a normal life because his dad is a fuck boy.
So I don't think it was a decision. I think that Lonzo got lost in the sauce. You know,
but it's a decision on her. I'm telling you. Her parents was like, good going, Denise.
Which lost in the sauce is a quote from Usher. You know?
Yeah.
So it wasn't the green sauce that Usher was lost in that he created.
I can't stand
the regular,
you. I hate you so much.
It was the regular sauce.
I just thought about what you mean by green sauce. I hate you so much.
Usher got lost in the tomatillo.
I hate you. She secured the bag. Like, I just feel, I don't know. I feel like if you young and you getting to go play for the NBA, don't be out here knocking bitches up. Just don't do it. Like, no, don't do it. It's early. It's early on in your career. Just don't do it.
I don't feel like she secured the bag. I feel like that should be a term for like normal women's. She secured the life. You know what I'm saying? Like, the bag can always get took back from your ass.
Well, like they said, Meghan Markle secured the bag. Well, she secured the palace because she finna be a princess now. But yeah, like I just feel like everybody praises, or not everybody. There's a lot of people that praise. What's the dad name?
Who dad?
His dad, Lonzo's dad.
Oh, LeVar.
They praise LeVar Ball, but like, look at what the fuck his kids are doing. Like, yes, they are successful in basketball, but they are not successful in life in general because they out here fucking kids stealing in fucking China, finna get his hands chopped off. That is not the place that you want to get caught stealing. It's just not. Then you done got into some Twitter beef with Trump. Like, it's just, he ain't helping his kids. They just making bad decisions.
Correct. All right. I agree with you. But there's a lot of mamas out here that's broke as fuck, and they kids is broke as fuck, and they making the same decision them niggas
True.
making. It's a broke ass version of Lonzo Ball out here, but Lonzo is rich, right?
But I feel like he has the means for it not to be that. That broke ass mom who might have to work and just not be putting into her kids. He ain't got that excuse. He could be doing better and he ain't. The broke ass mom and the broke ass kid in this fucked up neighborhood where they got all of these bad influence on it. That's a little different than him who could have done better. But his focus is on getting these niggas in the league. That's it. He feel like he done his job as dad. If they all get to play ball in the league, then he good. He don't give a fuck about none of this other stuff.
And that's where the issues in this dialogue come from. The issues in this whole dialogue about Lonzo Ball and LeVar Ball or LeVar Ball and his kids is what is the measure of being a successful parent? Is it that your kids are successful? Or is it that public opinion believe that it's successful? You know, like if Lonzo Ball was not Lonzo. God damn it, I keep forgetting all these fucking L's.
LeVar.
What name all these kids with them L's? If LeVar Ball was not in this media presence, but all these kids was doing the same thing, we wouldn't be having such a harsh opinion of what was happening.
That's not true.
I don't think we would. I mean, an athlete getting his girlfriend pregnant would just be an athlete getting his girl pregnant. It wouldn't be communicated in a way that refers to how they parents messed up because of it. We just happen to know that LeVar Ball done micromanaged his kid's life, and it make a lot of shit they doing look like it's just, you know, not their own shit.
I don't believe it. The question of what is success, I just don't think that your kid being success. I go back to the Jacksons are always going to be my go-to example in this. All of them are very successful, but at what cost? That's not success to me. Financial success, and you got all of these fucking horrible problems. That's not success. Like, you got the money, but Michael Jackson is no longer with us because of the problems that he had. The money wasn't enough to compensate for all of the shit that he grew up with and him growing up in the spotlight and the limelight. Like, it didn't compensate for all of that. Money don't make everything go away. Like, I feel like everybody look at, oh, well, he got money, so he good. Or he was able to push his kids until they became these huge success. At what cost? At what point does the means matter? Like, at what point is the end not the thing that matters, but the means, the way we got here? Like, yeah, you successful, but you ain't happy. All of them kids, all of the Jackson kids are fucked up in some kind of way. Every single one of them.
And that's
they
the
all
question,
successful, though.
That's the question I ask. Are they successful for LeVar or are they successful for themselves? That's the question I'd like to know the answer to. Now, if you ask them in an interview, they'll say yes. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
But LaMelo probably want to be a fucking ballet dancer. But his daddy had him on the basketball court. Like, you never know.
And I feel he's been grooming them for this forever. Like, they've been having balls in their hands. Like, they knew that this is the path that they was gonna go on. It wasn't never no other option.
No other way to say that.
Huh? The balls. Sorry, no. It's the way it came out. They was
gonna have balls in their hands.
They had balls in their hands.
The balls had balls in their hands, huh?
Yeah, pretty much.
All them balls.
All them balls. Like, I feel like the way he is, and again, I don't know him personally, and the way he is in interviews, I feel like this was the path he already decided. Like, it didn't matter if they had an interest in something else. That ain't what you gonna do. You playing ball. Like, even if they did want to do ballet, or not even something as extreme, maybe I wanted to go and be a lawyer. Like, anything else, I feel like this is what he decided. He was gonna have a bunch of Jordans, period. And so that's what he pushed on. And that's the problem with, like, planning your kids. I don't think any parent has a right to plan their kid future. Because it ain't going to be your life once they get out of your house. That's their life. Like, now, am I going to try to mold you in a way that your future going to be some shit where you could take care of yourself? Because my black ass ain't taking care of you. Yes, but, like, as far as... That's like me while I'm pregnant saying my kid gonna be a lawyer. Period. No other nothing. I'm having what is Felicia Rashad Cosby? Claire Huxtable. I'm raising a little Claire Huxtable from birth. Like, your kids should get a say in how their life is gonna go. You as a parent are supposed to guide them and make sure they ain't doing no fuck shit. But like to decide all 3 of your sons going to the league and that's it. And even if they all make it to the league, I guess you were successful in what your goal was. But does that mean success for the kids? And I guess that's gonna vary. A lot of people's opinion is that kids could be doing worse. They making money. But it's like, again, at what cost? At what personal cost? And I don't know the answer to that because I don't know these boys. But again, judging from his dad and knowing what I know about kids and parenting from my job, I would say that they probably, he pushed a lot of shit on them. He a pushy ass motherfucker. He that dude. Yeah. So I just, I don't define success by that. Like you can monetarily have kids that do amazing, but they are suffering. And I'm all of the Jacksons, everything going on.
And right now in this dialogue, objectively looking at this family through the lens, like if a parent, without knowing anything else, told me that one of their sons is in the league and they just got their girlfriend pregnant, I'd be like, okay, that's relatively normal. Mm-hmm. But if a parent told me that they coach wouldn't put them in the game, so you pull them out of school and then sent them over to China to play in the league, I'd be like, oh hell no! Why the fuck would you do that? That's that's a series of dumb decisions that you shouldn't do. Like it, and the thing is, I just don't believe he took his kids' thoughts about it into consideration before he did it. Especially to be 2 of them that he did that for. Both of them can't be the same level of enthusiastic about having made that move. So Lonzo Ball cool on his own merits. He got to where he is. His daddy set up a good foundation. But at the end of the day, the credit that daddy get to take for where he is ends somewhere. And I just don't think LeVar Ball lets that end. No. He don't let that credit that he's given to himself or even that his son give to him or that public opinion give to him. Mm-hmm. They not letting that end. At some point, what you did ends. At some point, that bird that you nurtured to full what they potential, you gotta let it go. Yeah. And he let it go, but they still tied to a string and he pulled their ass back. Like, bring your ass back here, motherfucker. You flying wrong.
Like, as far as him taking his son out because he wasn't gonna let him play, like he act like it was for no reason. Your son and his friends caused an international incident. Like literally, that's a reason to bench him for the rest of the season. I think that's accurate. I think that is a punishment that fits the fucking crime. You get so butthurt about this, like because he your son, he should still get to play despite he out here acting an ass cross seas. You just gonna pull him completely out of school, period, and send him across the water so he could continue to play basketball. Like, how does that make sense? Your son fucked up, and this is how narcissists are created. This is how, like, you have to have consequences for your action. Kids have to have a logical consequence. That's a logical consequence. If you go across seas while you playing with your team and you do some shit that causes an international incident, when you come back, they probably not gonna play you. Because that's a consequence of your actions. The president had to get involved. That's pretty fucking huge. That's a big deal. That's a logical consequence. Him not getting to play. That's logical. You start removing logical consequences, then kids feel like, or they get grown and feel like, I'm beyond consequence. Do what the fuck I want to. Nothing happens to me. Like you have to let kids have logical consequences. And he removed logical consequence from that particular situation. And 2, you just gonna give a fuck if he out here and can't add, but he can play ball. He can't keep up with how much money he got in the bank, but he can play ball. Like, you remove him to go play overseas, you take him out of school, like, that's crazy to me. I don't understand.
Not a good parenting decision.
Oh my God. Kim Kardashian is doing hoe shit because she a hoe. I mean, it's not really news. She posted it. Here's the thing. It's so funny. It's not that this don't happen, okay? Because pictures like, have you seen this picture? Mm-hmm. Pictures like this happen every day. Bitches be posting pictures of them half naked in the mirror, and then you see they toddler standing behind them in the door, or like this happens all the time. But like Kim Kardashian is not somebody that this should be happening to. So she's standing in the mirror, taking off her bra, and North is in the background.
Maybe I haven't seen that picture. Let me see that.
North is in the mirror taking the photo. And she posts the photo saying that North, I think she called it like a photographer or some shit. But it's like, bitch, you got too much money to be doing this kind of whole shit. Like, I know you are a rich hoe. But like this kind of whole shit, like this is what bitches that end up on nowaygirl.com, like or any of these sites that make fun of folks. Cause again, I done seen plenty of pictures of women, the background dirty, they got kids in the background. Meanwhile, they got on lingerie trying to take sexy pictures, and you can see little JoJo standing behind them. That happens all the time. But like Kim, really Kim, like.
Why are you acting like this is beyond Kim? Of anybody that should be acting like this is beyond Kim, you should not be.
I know
the one.
I know.
You just doing this for flair.
I'm not. Look, okay.
You know she capable. You know you believe she capable of this shit.
I was hoping, she's still a hoe, but I was hoping that she was still going to try to be a mediocre mom. You know, that she wasn't going to be subjecting the kids already. How old is North? She like 5. You already showing her how to take hoe pictures, like at 5. Like, I am a little bit. I did not expect this.
What's the definition of a hoe?
Kim Kardashian.
You can't use that as the fucking definition. How to apply Kim Kardashian to other women who are called hoes? Like, I need a universal definition of what a hoe is.
Hoe is in the like okay, prostitutes, hoe. Those are women that sleep with men for money, right? But it doesn't have to be sleeping with a man for money. It could just be using your body and the way that Kim Kardashian was in the porn. This is why we even having a conversation about her and this family. It's because she was in a porn that got released with Ray J. And ever since then, she been fucking all manner of black
I don't think that
men.
makes it a porn.
What? No, it was a porn. The porn she was in with Ray J?
I think a porn is on purpose. This is a sex tape that got released.
Once you release it and start, it becomes a porn. Like, it might have started out as a sex tape, but they sold it. That makes it a porn.
Did she sell it? If she made money off of it, it was a porn. If she didn't make no money off of it, maybe she got fame. Maybe other shit came from it.
I'm convinced that Kim was in, like, the same way Mimi. I know you don't watch Love and Hip Hop. The same way Mimi, her sex tape with the shower rod shit, she was all upset. Oh, it got released, and then come to find out that they released it themselves. I just feel like Kim, maybe he did release it without her permission, and she capitalized off of it. In my soul, I believe Kim knew. I just believe she knew. I believe that she was with it. She has benefited greatly from that porn. But and it becomes a porn once you sell it.
That's different.
Even if she wasn't the one that sold it. Once it became sold, it's a porn. It's not just a sex tape.
It can be a porn, but her willingness to be a participant is what keeps her, what protects her in that situation.
Not in my mind. Not for me. I'm sorry. No.
What if somebody that you had sexual intercourse with
don't leave evidence
recorded you without your knowledge? I'ma
sue the fuck out of them.
Whatever you do after that, once he starts selling it and it become a porn, then what are you now?
It's gonna be on record.
I'm just saying, what are you now? Does that make you a hoe?
Makes me a porn star.
No, I don't think so.
I'm in a porn now, whether I volunteered to be in the porn or not. You look.
One. You're just like in Hollywood. Your ability to be a star is based on your performance and your repeat
that they use
actions.
Porn star loosely. Obviously, not a star.
I don't use porn star loosely.
Because you watch a lot of porn.
There's some porn duds out there.
I don't. Anyhow,
it's some starfish out there. They just lay there.
You do know that, especially with like trafficking and shit. A lot of these people get made to be. It's still a porn. Your willingness does not dictate whether or not it's a porn.
But your willingness dictates whether you a hoe or not. That's what I'm trying to quantify.
But Kim ain't just. It ain't. She's not just a hoe because of the tape. Kim, after the tape, just started hoeing herself. Like,
what I'm saying is, I'm trying to use your definition. I'm trying to use your definition of how hoes fit in this. I need to understand what a hoe is.
Kim was just hopping around on black penises till she got to Kanye's. That Taylor Swift is a hoe. Taylor Swift is a hoe. Taylor Swift is an undercover hoe, or she's so nice that people don't want to call her a hoe. But I've always maintained that Taylor Swift is a hoe. She's a wholesome acting hoe, but a hoe nonetheless.
So that means being a hoe is based on a body count. If so, what's the number? Because a lot of hoes out here. If it's based on the amount of people,
it is a lot of hoes. It's a ton of hoes. A lot of them running around.
It'll be easy to find out who ain't hoes if that's the case.
Yes, that's accurate. I think that's an accurate statement. I think it is easy to find out what's
the body count number.
I don't know. Because here's the thing. Most of the time, you don't know people's body count. You know what they tell you. But with Kim, I have evidence of her body count. For the most, I don't even have an accurate count. I have evidence of all the ones that she was public with. But I don't have necessarily an accurate count of Kim, because I'm sure it was some shit she didn't want nobody to know, because the nigga might not have been famous enough. But with her, I know.
So what about women who have a low body count but take selfies in the mirror? Like that one that she took.
That's hoe behavior, but you're not a hoe.
Okay, so hoe is connected to sexual activity with men.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, because again, Taylor Swift is a hoe. I feel like she a hoe. She didn't finally learn to stop going public with all of this shit, so now she been under the radar for a while. I don't think she not dating. I think she just learned to shut the fuck up about it. Cause I was so upset when she was dating Loki. I was like, Loki, no, Tom, you can do better than this. Not Taylor. Anybody but Taylor.
For Taylor, what we got? Maybe 6.
I would have to go. I don't know. I
need you to figure out what a body count number is. What do you mean? You have to know.
I don't have a number in my, I don't.
So anybody you want to be a hoe, get to be a hoe.
That's usually how that works.
You don't have a quantifiable measure of how to apply that. Like you put the formula on the board, and everybody in the school walk by and be like, if you got more than 3, if you done took these kind of photos with your kids,
there's not a hoe. There's not a whole formula, no. I'm sorry.
Then I agree with you when you say Kim K is a hoe?
So you don't think Kim Kardashian is a hoe?
I don't have a definition for a hoe like you got. But I'm trying to learn from you what a hoe is.
So you don't think that Kim Kardashian is a hoe then?
I wouldn't call Kim Kardashian a hoe.
What would you call her?
I would call her a entertainer that we have in the limelight, that has had some sex tape relief, that is more promiscuous than most.
And wait, an entertainer? How is she an entertainer?
She got a porn. According to you, she a porn star. According to your logic, I'm sure that's entertained many men.
No, that doesn't make her an entertainer.
She got a TV show. It's a lot of people entertained about her show and her games on Android and all of the shit that she do. Like, it's a lot of motherfucking entertained.
Kim Kardashian is no. It is a very well accepted. Kim is famous for nothing. Kim is really just famous for really nothing. Kim does not have any real discernible talent, because her show is just her walking around being vapid, and people are just for whatever reason like to watch it. She has no talent. So she's not I don't feel like she's an entertainer. Beyonce is an entertainer.
Listen.
Kim Kardashian is not an entertainer.
Wait a minute. I ain't say the bitch talented. I said she's an entertainer, okay? All right? Like, a motherfucker outside doing a little black man jig dance, pulling himself up by the back of his shirt. He ain't doing shit, but he entertaining motherfuckers.
That's a very loose. So anybody, you too loose with entertainer. I don't just throw entertainer.
To me, entertainment is based on the people who experience that shit. If there was a universal lack of concern for Kim K's existence, then she wouldn't be an entertainer. The fact that there are some people that thrive on seeing her do shit including following her Instagram, including following her videos,
She
including
don't
following
do
her life.
nothing though.
Well, if motherfuckers are entertained by nothing, the question is, why do they fucking find her entertaining? But they do.
Cause she don't do nothing. Like,
They do.
Again, even her Instagram is her half naked. And I mean, if you didn't see the porn, you seen that already. Her TV show is her living her life. That's like saying me and you are entertainers. Like, cause if I start recording me walking the dogs and people find it entertaining, am I now an entertainer because I walk my dogs on camera? Cause that's essentially what she does.
If you have an audience that likes you doing that shit,
that makes me an entertainer.
If a motherfucker is entertained from what you do, you are an entertainer. Whether you like it or not, whether you know it or not, that's what you are. I think it's based on the audience. If one motherfucker listen to this podcast and at the end say, I was entertained.
Right now. I'm currently an entertainer and I didn't know it.
Objectively. I mean, if you look up the definition of entertainer, it's a motherfucker that entertains. Now, the dictionary ain't gonna say motherfucker.
No, it's not. I hope
but
not. That would be
you
funny.
are someone who
Dictionary
entertains. And entertaining, I think, is based on the experience that the people who are viewing or listening or participating
she's
have.
an entertainer. I'm sorry. It gives her too much credit. She doesn't do anything.
That's irrational.
It's not irrational.
It is irrational.
It's not. She's not entertaining. She lives her life. And people, for whatever reason, I honestly don't know how she became. I don't know if it's people fascinated with her come up, or I really don't get it. Cause I watched that show and it's literally bitches sitting around saying, I don't know. What do you mean? I can't believe she said that. Like, it is the stupidest
shit. You are doing the
ever.
same shit that you roasted Cole's ass for.
Which is what?
Not allowing your understanding to. You want to apply that to a whole group of people. Like,
I'm not applying it to a group of people.
You're saying she ain't entertaining to nobody. She just do shit and live her regular life and ain't nothing entertaining.
That she's not entertaining to nobody, but I just feel like entertainer needs some kind of talent and she ain't got that. Like, if you're being entertained by simply watching somebody exist, I don't feel like they're an entertainer because of that. Like, she is just
what's the videos you were talking about where motherfuckers just eat food and people watch it?
They're not entertained, but it's something about, I looked up, because I looked up what ASMR stands for. It's something that they get like sensory from listening to that. It's not entertaining. It's some sensory thing they get from it, because the S stands for sensory, but I forgot the rest of the acronym. They're not entertained. They get a sensory effect from it.
I feel like there is still a scale of people who enjoy shit that you can't conceptualize why it's being enjoyed. But that doesn't make the person doing it an entertainer, because Kim literally just living her life and the cameras follow. She's not, like, even Love and Hip Hop is scripted, so I feel like it's they acting badly, but let Kim just, they go on the yacht, they go hit, like, she just breathing. I mean, she's not doing anything. She's not entertaining. She's just living, and people for whatever reason are entertained by her just living her regular life, but she's not doing that's
anything.
Why in my version of an entertainer, it's not based on the person. It ain't shit that you can do to ensure that you're entertaining. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but that's why it is. But I feel like rap artists, pop singers, rappers, like that, they are entertaining. They are going out of their way. They are practicing a craft. Beyonce goes out to entertain. That's her job. That's what she does. That's why I feel like it's on the person. It's not on the audience. Just because you happen to be entertained by some bullshit does not make that person an entertainer. That just means that you're entertained by something that this person was already doing. Beyonce is an entertainer because she throws a show for people to enjoy and to be entertained by. All actors, actresses, they go and they play a part so that when people watch it, when we go watch Black Panther, they did that for us to be entertained by. I feel like it's based on the person doing it, not on, because people could be entertained by anything. That doesn't make the person who happens to be doing this thing an entertainer, because they're not trying. I feel like entertainment in the version of entertainer, it's an effort that's put into that. Kim ain't put no effort into it. She just the cameras follow her around. So for me, entertainer is somebody that entertains. That this is a very, they do it on purpose. It's purposeful. Beyonce is an entertainer. Jay-Z is an entertainer. Kanye West is an entertainer. Like, he puts on a show. He practices, he puts on a show. He does this for entertainment purposes. Kim just living her life and people happen to be entertained by it. So she keep letting the cameras follow her, but she's not doing anything in the show to make sure that she's entertaining. They literally just follow her around while she does nothing. And people just for whatever reason are entertained by it. But that's why I don't think that makes her an entertainer. She's not putting any effort. It's not purposeful. If I'm doing some shit and people happen to be entertained by it, but my goal ain't to entertain them, like, I guess, okay, but...
So in that sense, if Kanye's goal ain't to entertain, if Kanye's goal is just, I got money, I'm gonna do music, then he's not an entertainer now?
I guess, but that ain't, I don't feel like anybody that does, I've never seen anybody, like, or heard of anybody that, because all of the effort that goes into that, even with money, you have to do it for some kind of something, whether it's because...
So no athletes are entertainers?
No, I think athletes are entertainers.
How are athletes entertainers? They literally just playing a game that they like.
But they put on a show because they want people to keep coming back and watching. Because you can play a game you like and not be in the NFL. You don't have to be in the NFL to play that game. You could do that in many different ways. But
Daniel Craig, dude that plays James Bond.
Yes.
He notoriously does not like fame. He don't like that shit at all. He don't handle it well. He's not an entertainer.
He likes to entertain. He just doesn't like what comes with him being an entertainer. Because he could do that if paparazzi would leave him alone. He wouldn't have no problem with that. He likes entertaining people. He likes people watching him on the screen. He just wants you to leave him the fuck alone. He don't like the byproduct of being an entertainer. It's not that he don't want to be an entertainer. He just wants you to leave him the fuck alone. That's different.
I feel like you have just created a whole dialogue around how much you hate Kim Kardashian. So everybody else that's in a reality show that people follow, you have to apply that same logic to.
Yes, unless it's a scripted show. Like I said, Love and Hip Hop, that shit ain't real. What's his face having all these children? Obviously, that part was real because they making actual babies. A lot of that is scripted, and they come out and they say that it is. Mona Scott sets up. They do this purposefully so that people will enjoy the show. They want to entertain people. They want to give them something to watch.
So if you found out half of Kim's dialogue and what she does is scripted and crafted to be put in the show on purpose,
she would be an entertainer.
She would be an entertainer. Yeah. So the fact that you don't know that that's not the case, you can't say that she's not an entertainer.
She has said before that it's not scripted because people have said something about it.
Not scripted, but I feel like if she don't do the normal things that she would do when the camera's following her versus when it's not following her, then that's strategically for the show.
She don't do. But have you watched her show?
No, I haven't watched that
so
shit.
you.
Fuck, I look like.
Okay, well, I have watched the show. She doesn't do anything that would make you feel like she's doing it for the king. It's just regular shit. She had conversations with her sisters. They go on trips. This is what she does. Like, that's her life. Like, it's not. Now, Love and Hip Hop, the shit that happens, the people they run into, the fights that they had, you know that shit is scripted. Like, that's obvious for the entertainment value so that people will be talking about the fights that happen. Kim, them just hang out. Like, if you watch the show, it's literally them hanging out. They do regular shit. They do day-to-day shit that you and I do. People just enjoy watching it. Or, like, even, I think...
Are models entertainers?
I don't know about that. That's a hard one. I don't know. Because models... They model some... I don't know. I guess maybe kind of. Like during Fashion Week, they like do shows and stuff, but they do a lot of print work that isn't meant to be entertaining. It's to show off the clothes. They're like the vessel for the clothes are supposed to be the main piece, like not the model. They pick people that they feel like are going to be visually appealing so that their clothes look better, but the clothes are supposed to be the iPad piece, not really the model. So, and they all have the same face. They do the same walk. So if Kim Kardashian plays a role in a movie or plays a role in a scripted TV show, does she now automatically become an entertainer, or was she just an entertainer for that little bit of time and she's not an entertainer anymore? Just for that little bit of time. Like I said, like Kanye West that's what he writes. He does this regularly. Well, he's still making music and doing shows here and there. So he doing, like, Kim has been in like a Tyler Perry movie before. In that movie, she was an entertainer. I don't think overall that's not what she does. Like, she doesn't entertain regularly. Like, she don't go out of her way to be entertaining. That's not her goal.
I think you are what we call in the industry a hater.
I am not no hater. I promise you. I hate on Beyonce. Absolutely. I would want her life. I don't want to be Kim. If that's the way that I would have to become famous.
Hating on somebody is different than hating somebody. Like, you can hate on somebody and still respect their craft or some shit.
I don't know her to hate her. I don't get why she is who she is. There's nothing, again, when I look at people and what they bring, I don't have an answer for what she brings. Like, people like her, and therefore they will pay ridiculous amounts of money for stuff. Because nothing that she does is like amazing. Like, none of her product, none of that stuff, it's because her name is attached to it. And it costs more because her name is attached to it. Like, I don't hate her. I don't know her to hate her. The things that I see, I don't like about her, but I don't hate her. But she just, I don't get it. I don't get it.
When you talk about Kim Kardashian, your tongue turned into like a king cobra. Okay?
I dislike her. I do. I don't hate her because I don't know her. I dislike what I know. I won't even say I dislike her. I dislike the things that I know about her. And all I know is what she allows people to know. But the things that I know about her, I don't like at all. And I definitely don't like that you got your daughter taking your nudes for you to post on Instagram. I don't like that for nobody, not even Kim. Regular motherfuckers that do that, like, really? Like, do you have to have your child in on this shit? Like, you can't do it when they go to bed, so you by yourself? Like, they don't need to see this shit. It's unnecessary. And you posting her on like it's okay. The fuck? I just don't understand. Like I said, I've said this before, and I'm not in the beehive. You said it probably sounds like it because I keep saying
I think it's
Beyonce.
beehive.
But
because why would you use the same word? Why would you use beehive to refer to Beyonce as being the?
But they're always using little bees because she called B. Her nickname is B. Jay call her B all the time.
Her name start with B.
Yeah.
But it would make more sense to me to be Bayhive instead of the Beehive.
Yes. Maybe it is Bayhive.
It distinguishes itself.
Either way, I'm not a part of that. But what I will say about, and I keep using them because their kids are close to the same age, you just don't see Blue doing shit. Every time I see Blue, she look like a kid. She doing some kid shit. Other than, like, obviously she get to go to award shows and little kids don't get to do that because their parents ain't Beyonce and Jay-Z. But she getting to live as much of a kid life as somebody in her position can. Like, Beyonce don't have her taking. And Beyonce posts some pictures like not like Kim, but she posts some sexy pictures. Blue don't be the one.
But it still ain't fair because it's notoriously known that Jay-Z and Beyonce are extremely private people. Kanye and Kim are not private people at all. And if Kanye was a little private, Kim ain't private, period.
Well, no, but I'm basing this on what I've seen with Blue. They are nowhere near as private as they used to be. Lemonade. Beyonce wrote a whole damn album about they release. Like, they nowhere near as private. And they do. Blue is out in that they take. Blue got pictures every time, and I'm basing it on the same thing. I'm basing it on the pictures that I see in Northwest, and I'm basing it on the pictures that I've seen in Blue Ivy, because obviously I ain't there when neither one of them are doing no parenting. But every time I see a picture of Blue, she is dressed like a child. I done seen North with some sheer shit on at 4. Like, why do you have her dressed like you? She's not your age. Like, she doesn't need to be dressed.
I done seen some kids in Walmart with 20-degree weather with no shoes on.
It's terrible. That's bad parenting. I'm not saying that it's any less if it's a nobody. It's all bad parenting.
But you can't be in Walmart looking at the kids with shoes saying, look how them parents doing. Like, they the ones fucking up.
Who fucking up?
The ones without the shoes. Like, making lateral comparisons don't change shit about what these folks doing.
Obviously, Kim, even if I did it in a different way, it ain't gonna reach Kim. So it's okay for me to make a lateral, because even if I did it in a different way, it ain't gonna reach her ears. And Kim, I feel like Kim does shit for shock value. She knew that people were gonna react to that picture because it's a horrible picture.
Because people react to everything that she do.
But sometimes they react in a good way. This was not gonna be a good reaction, and it wasn't. People were like, "The fuck is you got her taking your thought pictures for?" Like, she knew people were gonna respond badly, and she still chose to post that because she didn't have to post that picture. Like, okay, maybe North did take the picture accidentally. You posted it is the problem. It ain't that she was in your room while you were getting undressed. Y'all live together. She your child. Problem is you decided that it was a good idea to post this shit. That's the issue. Like, I'm sure kids see. I never saw my mom naked, but people say they have. We didn't do that in my house, but I know that it happens. That's fine, but you had to post the shit, and
you know, it's good and it's bad.
I'm just waiting to see how
I mean, we can
out.
continue. I'm not condoning this, but as a society, we can continue to shun the body and make the body as unnatural as we want it to be.
It's not about shunning the body. Because she posts nudes of herself all the time. The problem is that you got your daughter taking these pictures. She just posted a picture of her naked ass body like last week before last.
If her daughter took a picture of her in a sequin line dress, it wouldn't be a problem.
No, it
the
wouldn't.
problem is they feel that it's inappropriate because she took a picture of her body in a promiscuous pose,
yes.
Which implicates how deeply disconnected we feel that the human body, which is natural, which everybody got, should be connected from these kids that's growing up. And the problem is, yes, North is probably too young to be taking that picture,
yes.
But we do that shit till they 18 and they ashamed of their fucking bodies. We do that until they too old to have a comfortable self-image of themselves naked that it keeps leading us down a path.
What does her mama being naked got to do with her being comfortable with herself naked in the privacy of their own home? Like, it's not about her being in a room or seeing her mama's back. It's about the fact that her mom decided that she was gonna post this. Like, it's the intent behind the picture. Not saying that Kim shouldn't teach her, but body positivity is more than you just posting naked pictures of yourself. Like, you put that into your kids. And it ain't by posting naked pictures of yourself. That ain't gonna make North body positive. Even if didn't nobody say shit, her posting risque pictures of herself is not gonna give North automatic body positivity. That's not how that works. It doesn't. She could be implanting body positivity in her daughter where she isn't ashamed of her body without posting thought pictures with her being the photographer. Like, that's not a way for North to be comfortable.
That's not
in her
a way,
body.
but what makes her doing it the problem? Because you just said her doing it is not the problem. You said her mama posting it is the problem, which means the intent. So what is the problem with, what's the intent of her posting it that makes it a problem?
It's for her to show off her body, like doing the thought shit that she always do. Let's not even say a sequin dress. Let's say if they was on the beach and North took a picture of her mom in a bikini, I wouldn't have shit to say because that they on the beach, her mom has on a bikini, whatever. But if you're in, and Kim could kiss my ass if she talking about this was like a candid photo when you posed with your ass tooted out. The fuck out of here. When you're like posing and doing shit for your child to take a picture and your intent is to post it so that people will, whatever she want people to feel about her body, that's the problem. It's not that it's not even that she don't have on a lot of clothes, because if they were on the beach and she took a picture while they were on the beach and it was just her on the beach in a bathing suit, and I think she has had pictures of her on the beach with North in a bathing suit and nobody said shit. But if you taking little sexy photos, like, your kids shouldn't be your photographer for doing that. And I don't even know why you posting it as a married woman. I just don't get that. I wouldn't be posting. I don't even do that.
Kanye made a video with her naked in the bed.
I know.
I mean, Kanye don't give a fuck.
He don't. But I would care. He ain't gotta care. Like, I don't do that shit now. But if I was posting naked pictures of myself now, when I got married, I don't care if my husband minded it or not. Like, at this point, you know, my mind, my body, my heart belongs to him. So I ain't finna be posting shit like I was before.
What if he wants you to post?
He kiss my ass, post your dick.
Well, you just said it belonged to him. And then what if he do post his dick? Because you just said that. See, now you got a problem. You can't have it always. You got to lose. If my heart, my body, my soul, everything belong to him, so I ain't posting nothing naked. But if he tell you to post something naked, then you can kiss my ass. You ain't posting nothing. He posts his dick. But then when he posts his dick, you mad as hell because his dick posted.
Why you posting your dick? What's the intent behind this? Cause you got me. So if you trying to get all of these new bitches, that's a problem. The intent behind it. Why are you posting a picture of your dick? Cause you ain't posting it just for why? What other reason would you have for posting your dick on social media?
Because it's Eggplant Tuesday.
That is not a thing.
That's why.
Is it a thing? That's not a thing.
It's probably called something different. You know the egg. You know what the eggplant emoji means.
I know. I do know what the eggplant emoji. I sent her the purple pickle. Have you seen that when Offset, one of them Migos, they were on Wildin' Out, and they were making like a song, and they were making a song about sending dick pics, and he called it a purple pickle. So
was that for the sake of the rhyme or because
of course,
he's stupid?
Because that's what they have to do. It doesn't matter if it makes sense. They gonna make it rhyme. It was for the sake of the rhyme. I forgot what he said before that. But it was something that needed to rhyme with pickle.
Eggplant every day.
I hope that doesn't. But stop giving people fucking ideas. I don't want that to be a thing.
I'm just saying.
I don't want to scroll down my damn timeline to see a bunch of penises. I don't need that in my life. No thanks. But the intent would be the reason why we have a problem. Cause why are you posting your dick? What is it that you think you finna get out of this?
You told him to do it.
No, I'm saying you not gonna tell me I gotta post my naked body.
Got to is strong. He would like for you to.
No. Okay, well you can like for it, but I'm declining.
He like to see how many people like your body.
I'm declining.
With the likes.
I'm declining your request because it's stupid.
Okay.
The fuck difference how many other people like it if you like it? No, I'm not doing it. Stupid.
Whatever.
That's all I have because we've been talking for a long ass time.
Too long. But anything else on your mind?
Nope.
All right. Well, until we come to the next conversation.
We out.
Holla.